Dear parents, dear panelists, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about the student-led conferences and Leader in Me today. We're going to try to answer the questions about these programs and all that stuff. Today's agenda is, let me first introduce the admin team today. Apologies. Oh no. Give me a sec. Okay. Now we have Mr. Alden. We have Mr. K. It's me, Ms. Rama, our AP of Student Culture.
Good
Miss Wood,
evening.
she was supposed to join. We have Mr. Mustafa, our tasting coordinator. He's here. He's going to address the questions related to the Parent Square and Infinite Campus. We have Ms. Teja. She's going to join soon. She's going to help Mr. Mustafa to address the communication issues with about the portals. We have Ms. Calabrian. She's our district ELA coordinator.
May I steal this dance? Hey.
So she's going to help us explain the Leader in Me program, and she's going to give a lot of information about the student-led conferences, how to make it very successful. And we're waiting for Mr. Smith, our district lead coach, who is going to join us soon. So what are we going to talk about today? So by the end of this webinar, you should have clear understanding. You should have everything about the student-led conferences, the benefits of having this one, some challenges about this, some clear steps, how to have a successful Leader in Me conference, which is on October 24. I'm going to share a tentative schedule for that day. And then if you have any questions about the Infinite Campus or Parent Square, Mr. Mustafa and Ms. Tej are going to help you out. You can definitely send your situation via Q&A session where our team is ready to answer your questions. And definitely at the end, we'll have Q&A. And just to make sure that you are aware, on the right bottom side, you can see a QR code, which is linked to this presentation. So you can definitely scan it and have access to the presentation that we have over here. And without further ado, I am giving the mic to Ms. Gracie. She's going to explain us what Leader in Me is. I'm sure you have already heard. We've been presenting and we've been sharing a lot of the information about the Leader in Me, but about the student-led conference as well. But Ms. Gracie is going to give more detailed information about this. Let me change the screen for this, Miss. Here we go, Ms. Grazie. Go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm just gonna introduce you guys to me first, and then we're gonna overview a little bit about Leader in Me, and then we're gonna go dig deep into what is student-led conferences. So I'm Miss Grazi. I know a couple of parents because I was across the street as an elementary teacher for the past 4 years. And we did student-led conference for the past 3 years within TMSA. So, and now I'm very excited when Mr. K and Ms. Sharma reach out regarding doing across the street with the high school. I was like, yes, please, let's do this. So, I think before we get started, it would be very needed to understand where is the concept of student-led conferences coming from. And I think we're going to dig deep into that tonight. So, about 20 minutes, but I will try to be as much as engaging as possible. And I know they do have a Q&A in the chat, or in the Q&A, not in the chat. So you guys feel free to put questions that you have or concerns that you have. And I'm sure one of the admin will reach out to you guys regarding that. So for this school year, I have joined the central office. I'm the English coordinator for the district. And I'm so lucky that I also get to do the Leader in Me coaching, which is one of my favorite parts. And this year, I'm working very close with Triangle. I'm a coach of Triangle. I'm a coach of Cary Campus and Triad Elementary. So I get to coach different buildings and get to see different perspective on how they are implementing Leader in Me. But with Triangle, I'm very excited because we get to bring all the good ideas and implement it for the high school, which is very, very excited. I think we do have great leadership within our students. We do have great leadership happening in the building. And I think it's just a matter of getting them together and connecting with everyone. So I do hope that I answer most of your questions, but still feel free to put it in the Q&A and admin will work on that to reply to y'all. So we can go to the next slide. Yeah, so the first one I think we all need to get very familiar with is the Leader in Me and the concept of what exactly Leader in Me is. So Leader in Me is how we call a framework where you can edit within educational field and also private companies field, which is the same company of Franklin Covey. So I know most of you might have heard for the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It is very famous in the business world, but Leader in Me is the name of the company towards education. So that framework can be used in any sorts of levels, so elementary, middle, and high school, and dividing by younger grades, K to 5, or secondary, all the way from 6th grade to high school. And I think the whole main goal is not only focus on their leadership, culture, and academics, but also prepare every student for the real road and to be not only college readiness, but also being job ready and being academic ready for their future as well. Inside of the Leader in Me framework, we do have the see, do, get model, as you can see on the left side. And the see, do, get, it believes that we do follow the way we see things, which they call it paradigms. But paradigms is just a fancy word, and that's how I explain to elementary kids that for a point of view. So if we are changing, if we believe that by following the 7 habits, we can get better in leadership, cultures, in academics, we are also changing the way we are seeing the things. So that's how the see, do, get model follows through. Mr. K, we can go to this next one. Thank you. And within Leader in Me, so how does that work with our schools? So we do have a 3 years of implementation, and I know you probably have heard your child talking about or the school publishing something about it, but you're like, what? How does exactly work? So within the schools itself has 3 years of implementation. The first year, or core one, is what we call integrating the 7 habits. So we start to teach the 7 habits and to model that for each student. And that's when you're going to see those direct lessons. You're going to see teachers asking open-ended questions to the students and developing their own leadership roles. And that all happened in the first quarter, in the first core of Leader in Me implementation. The second year, or the second core, it is what we call achieving growth, or when they start talking about their plans, their goals, what do they want to do with the map testing, with the data that they have now? How do they want to implement that data? How do they want to be a better student and have their own voices? So that is on the stage where the habits are already integrated. So they know the habits, they know they should be creating goals, but then now it's going to label out how we're going to reach those goals, how exactly it's going to work. And all of that happened on the second year of implementation, or core 2, as we call it with Leader Me. And the third year is how you do your show up, right? It is empowering the students. It is letting them taking ownership, not only of what they are learning, but how they are doing things in the school, right? Not only what did you learn today, but hey, how did you learn today? The whole goal is for them to take ownership of what they are learning and how they are learning. Can they explain it back? So I do know that I'm going to say for the English department, I'm not going to touch math here, but we do know that we have verbs, adjectives, and complete sentences. But what does that even mean? Can our students understand it? Can they use it? When do they use it? How do they use it? And those open-ended questions will happen when the students start developing their self-consciousness and self-awareness. And that is the role when we play student-led conferences. And again, I know it's a very different concept. It's a very letting it go of the leadership model, but it's trusting our students. So I can see that as a district, as a TMSA district, we truly believe that our students can do it. And I know when it's the first time, we are all like, oh, but how about meeting the teacher? How about talking to the teacher? I think those concepts will come into life when you get to experience. I think as a district, we are focusing on how much ownership can our students take it. And we fully trusted that they can do it. And I can guarantee they will. Because if we can get kindergartens to do it, I'm sure secondary students will do it. Middle school students can do it as well. And within the core three is also preparing them to follow and finding their own voice, their own expertises, and being not only, like I said, college readiness, but also job ready, university ready. Are they ready to take those big roles and those leadership skills that they will need it? Will they be able to choose a career that's what they're going to follow for their whole life? So all those leadership skills are happening within our school inside of the Leader in Me framework. And again, that's not something that happens to the day and night. It takes us 3 years of fully implementation. And now student-led conferences is part of that as well. We can go to the next one, Mr. K. Thank you. And then again, one more question that we hear a lot. So why are we doing Leader in Me? Why do we have to do it? Or why do we want to do it? I think on an educator perspective, if we do believe that every student deserves the same opportunity to thrive, why not? I think that comes back to us as educators, as adults in our students' life, is why wouldn't we? It is proven that Leader in Me does develop the whole child, does empower leadership skills, it strengthens the school culture. And when you have a good culture, you're going to have a good academic. And it does improve their academic and engagement. So the question behind of it is why not? And inside of the framework, I did put a lighthouse picture here on the right corner, because the whole idea of fully implementing the 3 cores, our ultimate goal is to be a lighthouse school. And what does that even represent? Mr. K, there is a research brief. Do you mind clicking in there and just open the document for us? And hopefully we'll open the right document. Yep, that's the one. Can you make it bigger on the right side? There's a 2 side arrows there. Yeah, if you go down with your mouse a little bit, stop there, it will make it bigger. Yep, beautiful. So the company per se, Franklin Covey, they also did a studies on their Leader in Me schools and their Lighthouse status schools. So when we ask about it, why Leader in Me? Why do we want to be a lighthouse schools? And again, by being a lighthouse schools, it means we implemented the 3 cores: core 1, core 2, and core 3. Sometimes it's a core a year, 2 cores a year. It depends on the progress of the school. So when you do reach there and you are ready for lighthouse, so why do we want that certification? Mr. K, if you go on the right side, just scooch a little bit. Yeah, they made it. You can go one more. They made it a whole study of their own lighthouse schools and how will that improve not only the school culture, but also the whole academic. Being a lighthouse schools, we are focusing not only on their right now actions that they can take it, but also actions that they will take a long while. And becoming a lighthouse school is more of the theory of changing. We are constantly improving ourselves, and we are also teaching our students to improve themselves as well. We can go one more. And again, I'm sure these documents you can also open from home and take a look into it. But there's 4 major areas of the research brief that academic growth is the must with lighthouse schools. Student self-regulations or self-led or self-ownership of their learning. Student engagement and attendance. Most of their schools have reached almost 100%. We don't call it 100% in educational field because we do have flu, we do have other things that happen, but we would say a 95% of attendance. And then we do have a lot of improvement in student leadership. The students are taking ownership of what they are learning. And again, as I said it before, not what are we learning, but how are we learning and why are we learning. And Mr. K, if you go a little bit on the right, just pass over those pages. It's just a couple of more informations that there is database regarding why do we want to be a lighthouse school and how would that benefit our students. You can go one more. And you can see the proficiency levels, not only in math, not only in science, not only in ELA, but overall the curricula is fully across the board improvement. And we are talking about not only being a 40 percentile, but being a 90 percentile. And you guys can take a look in this later on. I think those are very important documents to take a look and understand why are we doing it, and also show that to our students so they can understand as well. We can go back, Mr. K, to the presentation. And again, that is linked on the presentation. Whenever you have a chance, take a look, and it's laid out there for you parents as well. So, okay, as we saw it, that one of the goals is to be a lighthouse schools, is to implement Leader Me with fidelity. We have the next point now, and we can go next, Mr. K, which some of you might heard or not, which is called the 4 disciplines of execution. This inside of the framework, that would be our core 2, but that's exactly as teacher, educators, administrators, we are teaching them to create a goal, but not only a goal that, oh, I want to read 100 books a month, let's per se, or 100 books a year. Not only creating a goal per goal, but also creating a goal that is important. And that's what we call it, a widely important goal. And also some of the research has shown that if you do frame it only as a goal, like beginning of the year in January, we all created goals for ourselves. But if we only are tracking the goal per se, which is number 1, the widely important goal, we have a 10% of chance of achieving it. If we do act on the leading measures and we keep a score, like we see on soccer game or football game, they always keep a score, and we do create an accountability system, our chances of achieving that goal increases from 9 to 10% to 90%. So we do want our students to be able to understand the goals that they are creating and to achieve those goals, because creating goals are easy, right? I can come to myself and say, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds in a month. We know it won't be possible. I mean, I might be able to lose 5 or 6 if I track it, if I weigh myself every Monday, if I check with a friend or be like, Mr. Mustafa, please, if you see me eating chocolate, make me stop it. If I have an accountability there, I might be able to lose 5, but 20 pounds won't be possible. And that's the same way with our students for their academics. We do know that we want them to grow, but we got to make a better way to teaching them how to get there. And then again, all of these things that I'm bringing is nothing that TMSA woke up and like, oh, we are doing that. Those are all research-based and evidence-based that it worked. Education field has changed. So if we don't catch up and start changing with it, our students will be behind. And with that being said, our own mission of every student deserves the same opportunity, we're going to be failing them. And that's not the goal. So student-led conferences is a way of us of teaching them to keep their score, to keep their 4 discipline and make sure they are creating goals, achieving it, and being celebrated by it. Mr. K, we can go. And again, so what exactly it is? And the name say per itself is a student-led conferences. It is a meeting where the students take the lead, sharing what they learn, what they achieve, their challenges, their goals with their parents. So instead of being the teacher taking the lead or myself as an educator being there, oh, Lulu needs to grow 4 points or her map data, otherwise she's going to struggle. Now is, oh, mom, dad, I need to grow 4 points because I want to understand what we are learning it. I want to make sure when I read a passage, when I read a text, I understand what my teachers mean. So there's 4 key factors: is a student voice at the center. It is the student teaching, basically like a job interview for secondary, but instead of getting a job, they are getting to convince you, the parents, that they did a good job. A portfolio of evidence. All our students are working on a portfolio with the classroom and on their time as well. They are the one choosing what they want to add, what celebrations they want to have, and what goals are they creating to put on their portfolio. And middle school and high school are a little bit different, but they are both digital and is student led. So the students are choosing what they want to put it there. A third thing, they are doing reflections. They are answering open-ended questions about setting a goal and confirming their goals and achieving those goals by themselves. A fourth point, it is a family engagement. So we do want our parents to be not only on the lookout for what did you do, but also tell me more about it. Let me understand what exactly you are doing it. And then we do have now the teachers or the school personnel as the facilitator. This is what we work on. This is what he or she chose to show it to you. And this is how they're going to present it. And this is how it's going to look like in their own manner. I did add a video, but Mr. K, can we go and come back to the video if we do have enough time? So, and I know you're going to share the presentation, so you guys can feel free to look the video later if we don't have time. And then again, I love the research base, and it's not something that we made up yesterday and brought it to you guys. It is proven that it works. So the first one, the student take ownership of their learning. I know it's going to look confusing at the beginning. Maybe the first conference is going to be, oh, but what should I show to my parents? But when we are starting asking those questions, hey, so what are you learning in English class? What are you learning on your pre-AP class? And they're going to explain, ask more ended questions. So how do you think you should be learning instead if they don't like the way they are learning? The same way, if they are watching a game, and I'm going to frame soccer because I feel like I understand soccer better than football, but if Messi is playing and is Messi is the guy, who am I to tell him that we should change Messi or don't put a Messi? But if I have a better plan, if I have a better action of a team that would work for my soccer team, you should implement it. So the whole idea is to strengthen that in our students, is to make sure they are having those critical skills, those leadership skills that they are going to use it. Just today morning, we were talking, Ms. Kay, Ms. Sharma and I, we were talking about it. And one of the most recent researches is in engineering classrooms in university and business classrooms, all that we are seeing is a lack of communication and leadership skills in our students. So we have college readiness kids, we have students that are ready to learn and be book ready. But when it comes to, can you present it to me? Can you show to us what did you do? They are starting like losing the way. So most of business schools, most of engineering schools around the US are focusing now on classes that are communication and leadership skills. And by us doing student-led conferences, we are giving them those opportunities to practice for the real world. Not that secondary is not a real world. I mean, it is a real life. But when we are talking about a career, you do presentations as your job. So how would you do it if you were getting ready at middle school, at high school? It would be way easier. It would be way better because you were exposed to it. You learn how to take those critical skills when you were younger. And now it's just a matter of practicing doing it. Mr. K, one more. So basically, I think now everybody kind of understood what exactly it is. So you're not going to see the teacher. You're not going to have one-on-one talk with the teacher that day. When you come to the school, and you guys going to talk logistic later, but when you come to the school, you're going to have your own child presenting to you a portfolio that they have worked on with things and evidences that that's where they are. That's what I'm learning. And as a parent, I get asked a lot, Ms. Grazi, what should I do? What can I do to help them? I think we, as the adults of in their life, need to make the shift of involved and engaged. When you come to the school, when you ask the teacher a question, when you send a question to the teacher, hey, can you help my son with that? That's an involvement. You are being an involved parent. But what exactly it is to be engaged? So if someone asks you, what is your son learning in biology classes? You're going to know right away because you are on top. You are making sure they are doing their homework. You are making sure they are presentable at school. So that's the difference of an involvement and engagement. And the same way works with our student-led conferences. When you are there, please don't be on your phone. Basically, listen to them. But sometimes it's going to feel like, what are they talking? I have no idea. Open-ended questions. Just give them your fully attention and be there. Hey, I'm here. I want to hear what you are working on for this quarter, for this semester. And just avoid interrupting them, but just listen on a way that you are trying to understand. And that's one of our habits as well. Seek first to understand. But again, you are trying to understand. You are making the eye contact. Oh, I understand. Can you tell me more about it? That's a way of listening, but active listening, not being like, oh, go fast, I gotta go. We all gotta go. We all have places to go. But I think that's a great time. That's a great 20 minutes that you and your child have it to focus and to engage in their own learning. Because if they see that you are engaged, that you are motivated to understand what they're doing, they will feel as well. And that's what we call it in education field, modeling. The second one, ask those open questions. And I'm sure AI can give you tons of idea. I'm not by any means like advertising ChatGPT, but what kind of questions should I ask my child, eighth grader, on math? And I'm sure it will give you a list. But those open questions, that what are you most proud of it? Oh, you work on, I don't even know in math what you guys work, but you were working on pandas. So how does that work? I don't know if that's something you're geometry. Geometry is math, right? So how does that look like? Kind of opening those questions and let them answer. Don't give them the answer. That's what a student led is. And how can I support you at home? Is there anything I'm not doing that you needed from me? And maybe as a teenager, maybe as an eighth grader, that's all they need to hear. Oh, it seems like my mom care. Okay, so let me do better because my mom cares. And also collaborate with when they are building their goals. I wish somebody could come and be like, Grazi, 20 pounds won't be enough in a month. How about we go ahead and do 3? And achievable goals where they can achieve, because all that we want from them is they are reaching their goals and being able to celebrate it, because there's nothing more daunting than you creating a goal, you being like, I want to be 300 on my map testing on my language course, and you don't get there. And that's what we don't want for our students. We want to make sure we are supporting them, we are asking them, how can I help you to get there, in order for them to get there. And and that's definitely something they are doing within themselves. I'm sure parents, you have heard that they have accountability partners, or the teachers ask them, okay, talk to your accountability partner, and that's a friend that will keep them on track. How they're going to do it? But there's no better way for you to be more engaged than you being the one that your child will be like, you know what, let me go ask my mom because she will know the answer. You know what, let me ask my dad because he's the best at it. And just those kind of habits, and make it into ourselves, and being like, instead of looking for what did you do wrong here, is, can you tell me what did you do right? Can you show me exactly what did you learn? What was the PEMDAS theory you learned this week? What was the social study class you didn't like it? So if you didn't like it, what can you do better? Or if you were the teacher, I love that question. And they asked on my second grade classroom, and my second grade kiddo, he answered it. His dad was like, okay, so if you were the teacher, what would you have changed? And he answered beautifully. If I was the teacher, I would get professional development training so I would be a better teacher. And I was like, oh, taking notes. Okay, let me do it. It seems like it's for me. And they can do it. And if a second grade can do it, if a kindergarten can do it, I will guarantee our eighth graders can do it, our high schoolers can do it, and they can be even better than what we thought they could. So just trust that they can do it. As a school, as a district, that's exactly what we are doing. We trust that our students can take this ownership, that they can understand their goals, that they can celebrate their progress, they can create their goals. So as a family, as a community in their life, we should do the same. We should absolutely do the same. I believe we have one more, maybe a time for question. Do I still have time, Mr. K? Can I show the video real quick and then we go for the logistic? So then parents can actually see in action how it's going to look like, especially for the ones who never did the student-led conferences. I can hear it. Can anyone hear it? Maybe the audio is not working.
Let me try one more time.
Yes, let's see.
Can you hear it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, let me try. Because there might be something related to the sound system, but let me check.
Yeah, I cannot hear it, Mr. K
Cannot
yet.
hear it. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can pass the video even without saying it, just so they can see it. and it's linked on the presentation so everybody can look at it at home as well. But as you can see in the video, the teacher is as a facilitator and the student is guiding the conversation, showing their portfolio. And sometimes the portfolio can be, oh, let me stop talking. Try again, Mr. K. Yeah, you won't go. But again, he's the one taking the lead and showing that's what I did. That's what we work on. That's why we worked on. And they have been practicing the classroom as well to do it. So there is examples of them doing in elementary school, which is more of a paper portfolio. For middle school is more of advanced. So they are working on their own slideshow. So they are probably going to come to you in that day, in the conference day, with their computer and show exactly what they are working on, how they are working on. But again, the school is on a facilitator side, not as a guided side. Because exactly what we want for our students is they taking the lead and they understanding this is what I'm working on, this is how I should work, this is the goal I'm tracking it, this is why I'm tracking it, and just having them develop those leadership skills that are must needed in the real world, right? in the future. So I hope this was helpful. And I know the video is also linked there and you guys can take a look and see from home. But I will hang around if the questions comes and I'm here if anybody needs me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Grazi.
Thank you, Ms. Grazi. Okay, now I will go ahead with the logistics of the student-led conference, and then we'll take the questions about the student-led conference and the day. Now, we are planning to have about 25 minutes per session. We're planning to have 3 families in one room per session. We're planning to start at 9 a.m. in the morning. Sign-ups will be shared this week or next week, right before the October 24th. And then you will be hearing from homeroom teachers because the kids will be presenting on one of the sessions. So it means that the homeroom teachers will be the hosts of the student-led conferences. And this is a simple example. Is it going to be the same? Might be, might not be, but this is a template for the teachers that we're going to share with them, with their homerooms. This is how it's going to look like. So every session will have 3 slots, student 1, student 2, student 3, or we can say a family 1, family 2, or family 3. And everyone, you will sign up for those options, and then you will choose the best option for you, which works for you or for your family. And of course, we need to give a break for our teachers, so it's going to be from 12 to 1 o'clock. And the rest of the time, the teachers are more than happy to host the presentations, and we are more than happy to see you at school, and we're more than happy to see the kids present their achievements throughout the Leader Me. And I just wanted to remind some specific stuff. The October 13, we'll be sending report card. Quarter 1 ends on October 9. There will be some days for teachers to grade the stuff, and October 13, we'll be sharing the final grades for the quarter 1. October 24, we do have our student-led conference. The second semester electives will be shared mid-November. November 14, we'll be sharing the quarter 2 progress report. The fall break is between November 25 and 29. December 19 is going to be the end of the quarter 2. And in February, we are going to have our second webinar for grade 8 parents about the high school. In March, the course offerings, it's a tentative date. The course offerings for high school will be shared with the grade 8 students. And in June, most likely, our team is going to share the schedule for rising grade 9s, which means for you guys. And now we're ready to answer the questions that if you have, and Mr. Mustafa and Ms. Teja are here. If you don't have access to Infinite Campus, if you have issues with Parent Square, if you can't see the student grades, please let us know. We will make sure that Mr. Mustafa and Ms. Teja help you out today and tomorrow so that you have access to Infinite Campus.
Sure. Mr. K, I just want to add something about for
Yes,
the
sir.
upcoming events on the 29th, this month, 29th, I think it's Wednesday. We're gonna have PSAT 8-9 test. I haven't informed the community yet, but tomorrow they will be informed about this test. It's October 29th. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's gonna be a PSAT 8-9.
I didn't want to share without your confirmation, sir. Now it's officially confirmed,
Now
so
it's
now we can
official.
share it.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you're going to hear from Mr. Mustafa officially probably tomorrow or on Friday about the PSAT, what to do, what not to do. It's going to be done only once, so make sure that your kid joins that day to have a good grade or at least to have a
Right.
presentation,
This is,
basic
yeah.
understanding.
I mean, this is a great opportunity for our students and for our parents because PSAT, it's an important test. And this way, they're going to have an opportunity to gauge their, academic preparation for the upcoming important tests. So we really, really, really recommend every student join the test and take the test on time.
But other than that, we're more than happy to answer your questions about the student-led conferences about Leader in Me. Please feel free to type a question. Our team is ready to answer them as soon as possible.
And Mr. K, while the parents are doing that, I would like to take a moment to also highlight some of the leadership activities that your students are engaging in as we speak. So this Friday, the students themselves, some of the leadership team is organizing a student-led assembly based on the 7 habits of Leader in Me. They are going to have shout outs for students who demonstrated leadership habits throughout the month of September. We're going to celebrate them. They're going to come up with some community outreach programs. They are going to come up with some areas of improvement in our school community. And they're going to take leadership and say, I'm going to help with the cafeteria, or I'm going to help with monitoring bathroom expectations. So I think I just want to give a shout out to all the parents for their support and all of our students for really diving into leadership early on the school year. And that's the kind of culture we want to build this year, is one of celebration and one of leadership. And the student-led conference, we together as an admin team feel is a step in the right direction, empowering our students to showcase what are you learning, what are you celebrating, what extracurriculars and so on. So we're really excited, and we're here to answer any questions you have.
Ms. Teja, Mr. Mustafa, I think you have first parent to ask a question about the Infinite Campus.
Yes, sure. If you can show my email address, they can send the details to me and I will give them access, or I can reset their passwords and give them the credentials.
Yep, I'm doing it now.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, you can send the message to Ms. Teja. She will address it immediately. And one more thing, if you have any questions, if any question pops up later on, you definitely can send a message through the QR code on the left, and we'll try to address the questions that were not or that you might come up with later on. I guess we're good. If there are no questions, dear parents, thanks for your time. Thank you for joining this webinar. I hope it was very helpful. Ms. Grazi, I would like to thank Ms. Grazi for her time, for being here. I'd like to thank the team for making the time and being with us, supporting us, answering the questions. And the recording will be shared tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Thank you again. Thank you very much, guys. And
Thank
have a
you
good
so
night.
much. Good
Bye-bye.
Thank
night.
you,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you.